Welcome to the panel for Evolution of the Metaverse, Building Bridges to the Real World. In this panel, we will discuss how NFTs from Lamella Ball to digital DeFi pets are crossing over to the mainstream. Here today, we have a gathering of some of the best minds in the space who will share details about their success stories and experiences in creating NFT-based metaverse, collectibles, and games, all while using Chainlink VRF as a tamper-proof and verifiable source of randomness. My name is Chirag Do. I lead product marketing for Chainlink Labs. Really excited to have this esteemed group of panelists with us today, and this is going to be an interesting conversation and will hopefully be valuable to you whether you are building NFT-based projects and use cases, looking at new types of blockchain-based games and key trends such as the metaverse, or wanting to learn about applications of Chainlink VRF as a verifiable source of randomness. As we get started, just wanted to provide introductions to our panelists today. So I would like to request our panelists to provide a brief intro about themselves, their role, and explain a little bit about their project, starting with Jesse.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jesse. I am the co-founder of Pixelcraft Studios and one of the summoners of Aavegotchi. So Aavegotchi is a NFT game that's made for people who enjoy DeFi. And we do that because the way we achieve that is with basically what is an on-chain, 100% on-chain, cute little ghost that actually has a deposit of Aave A tokens inside of it, existing on the Polygon network. And it's not the only thing that's on chain. In this case, it includes all of the visuals. So this means that every visual asset you see, every Aavegotchi and every wearable is stored as an SVG file directly on the Polygon network. This is important because that means you can rest well at night knowing that the longevity of your NFT is secure in every possible way, not just the typical metadata. The other part that is on chain is the way we realize the Aavegotchis and that they are actually born on using the Chainlink VRF. So you get a cute portal, this NFT with a magical door, and it's almost like a deck of cards. You choose to open it at some point of your choosing. At that point, it engages the Chainlink VRF, and you generate randomly on-chain, provably 10 different Aavegotchis with unique traits and visuals. And from there, you get to decide which one you're going to pick. You can only take one home with you from that portal. And so that's kind of the project in a nutshell. The name obviously references the old school Tamagotchi in that it's a crypto pet. We've thought a lot about crypto pets, and the most famous is, of course, that first generation with crypto kitties. And the idea when we started was kind of a blank sheet of paper, and we said, well, how do we make a crypto pet that really lives up to the term, in the sense that you actually grow some attachment to that crypto pet, you actually care about it. And so we do that by taking advantage of really interesting and innovative ideas that are seldom used, such as on-chain dynamic traits. So when you summon your Aavegotchi, it'll start with a 50 score of a kinship. And this kinship score will move up and down every day, depending on whether or not you interacted with your Aavegotchi in an on-chain manner. So it's actually measuring on-chain transactions with your Aavegotchi. This is one of the many ways we think about living up to the idea of a true crypto pet. And then the Aave side of the name is really referencing the fact that indeed to summon the Aavegotchi you finally choose, you have to stake a certain amount of Aave yield generating tokens. And so, for example, we have a link themed Aavegotchi. If you see that in your portal and you really, really want it, you're going to want to go get some A link or Polygon equivalent AM link and deposit it into your Aavegotchi. So literally the Aavegotchi is kind of like an NFT wallet is one term we see thrown around, which I think we need new terms for everything, but it's a pretty accurate way to think about it, because you can deposit ERC20 tokens into your Aavegotchi, including our Ghost token or Aave tokens. And you can also deposit and attach other 1155 NFTs to it in the form of wearables typically, or badges. We also have badges. So that addresses the reputation side. So that's kind of what we're working on, and really excited to be here today and talk about where we're going with that towards the metaverse and what we like to call the Gotchiverse, which is a kind of virtual world made cozy for Aavegotchis.
Jesse, I know you touched a little bit earlier about Aavegotchis and VRF and randomness. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, so I mentioned to summon an Aavegotchi, you open a portal, you get 10 randomly generated, and that's engaging with the Chainlink VRF. And I think all of this, what everyone's talking about is that, if faith in how these results come about is undermined, you have a really big problem as any project. With crypto, we're all looking for fairness, and the Chainlink VRF really unlocks a lot of that. So we use it everywhere we can. We've used it to summon the Aavegotchis, but also in a couple other places. So the first haunt of Aavegotchis arrived in March of this year, but the project has existed for about a year. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary. And so the community has been really engaged from day one when we launched via a bonding curve. And that means if we launched September of last year till March, there was a lot of time in between. What did we do? Well, we ended up issuing NFT vouchers for future wearables that would be issued when the game arrived. And we started a kind of tradition in the community of every so often doing a raffle that was on-chain and using the VRF as well. And it was also a great way for us to battle test using the VRF before we got to the big day and needed to use it to engage with generating actual Aavegotchis. So it was kind of a win-win. Like the devs wanted to work with VRF, and we were able to do something with the community that was pretty special. So you would stake your ghost on a one-sided staking that would get you basically loyalty points called friends, and they're not ERC20s or anything like that. These points served one purpose. You'd exchange them for 1155 NFT tickets, and these raffle tickets would be of, if you want to try to win a godlike, then you're going to need 50,000 friends points for one ticket. Or do you want something common? You can do that all day. And I'm happy to say that some of the most exciting experiences within our community have been those raffles. They're really a rallying point. Everybody knows it's fair. Everybody knows what's at stake. And sometimes you really do come away with people who had less capital, but they've had time in the game. They were able to acquire a few of those godlike tickets, and they actually win. If a godlike, that means there's only 5 of that particular NFT in existence, that wearable. And we've actually had somebody win with submitting 1 ticket. We were able to verify it on chain. Quite amazing. And you couldn't have planned it better. The wearable was from our Chainlink themed wearable to celebrate the VRF. This is like November last year. And it was a little Chainlink cube, a little pixelated version representing that. And this user actually won it with 1 godlike ticket. Going forward, I think there's more ways to use it. So we're going beyond raffles and that kind of thing. And when the Gotchiverse virtual world comes and these parcels, you're going to have a parcel. We said, well, yeah, okay, right now a parcel represents rights to build on top of it, but we're a DeFi NFT project and we want to have some real gamification elements. So what if you get a parcel and you can see certain inputs like where it is located? Is it next to a volcano that emits a certain, we have these different tokens called FOMO, alpha, FUD. Where you are in position on the map will adjust these boosters. And then only after you engage the Chainlink VRF will you know what your parcel really holds in terms of these different, what we call alchemica. So it's going to be pretty cool. That's coming up, and Chainlink's going to play, again, a very big role in what is probably the highest stakes yet. Because if I get a parcel and I'm next to a certain area or it's a certain size, I want to know it's fairly distributed and the results are provable. So I'm very excited for doing that.
Awesome. Thanks for your thoughts, Jesse.